Hello and welcome to the continuation of the skill of the week for the value chart. I apologize, I had to shut off the video because the AD came in to ask me a question and I didn't want to interrupt the video. So we are continuing with our value chart, and I was dulling down my pencil, my 4H pencil, because it was just a little bit too pointy, and it works much better to work with a dulled down H pencil. Okay, so we are on our next spot, and I have to really bring my fingers far away from the pencil lead and really try not to put too much pressure on the pencil. You can barely see the value going down. That's okay, because we're going to build that value just a little bit, not too much, because we're trying to get it to white right there. And this one, I'm hardly having any control at all because I'm clear back here. I'm just letting the lead do the work. And this is where having it a little bit dulled down kind of helps, because then you get not so many lines showing. Okay. Now I can always go back and darken the previous ones if I feel like these are too light. And you don't have to spend much time on it because you can see that it's really gradating out to the lighter values. Now, if I need to, I might need to darken that one a little bit so there's not such a big jump between those two. You can really see as you get closer this way. I might need to go back in here, and I can do it with my 4H because I already did my B pencils. So my H pencils are going to work pretty well over the top of that, just getting a gradual or a slight value change. Don't need much. I just need to make it distinguish between that last value and the one that I'm working on. I don't want them to be too close together. I want you to see the value change, but I also want it to be gradual. Okay, so is that gradual enough? That's what I like about working with H pencils over the top of B pencils, is you can really see the smoothness that you could get if you were smudging, but without the dirty, smudgy look that you get when you do smudge. I don't think smudging is very pretty looking. Yes, you can get some texture with this, but there we go. I just had a dark spot right there. Get it out of there. So there. We're getting a little bit better gradation there. There might be too much of a jump here. Don't know for sure. Might work just a little bit more value into that, just to make sure that we have a good jump. So back and forth we go, looking between the values to make sure we're getting gradual changes. And that looks pretty good. I like that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and switch to my 6H. Do I have my 6H over here? There. Oh, that's a 6B. Where's my 6H? Looks like I didn't grab my 6H, so I'm just going to stick with my 4H. I can do it. I just wanted to be able to use all the pencils to show you. So just really, really lightly, because remember, we're going to white. And that last one, which is this one, is going to look like it's just a touch up from the white value. You're going to hardly see any value on this. Just enough to see that there's a bit of a change. And again, I may go back and darken the previous one just to make sure I have enough value change in there. It really starts to get hard during those last couple of boxes. So yeah, these two are too similar to each other, so I would go back in, and I've gotten this, boy, pretty light, but I don't want to go much lighter because I want this one to be my lightest one. So I'm going to go back and darken this just a tiny bit. Okay, so that one is becoming too much like this one, so just go back a little bit on this one. Darken it a little bit. I got my hand in my pencil, so got to be really careful where I put my hand. It happens. I got to pay closer attention to where I put my arm. There we go. I'm just going to move it like this. Sometimes you can put a piece of paper down. That helps. Okay, figure out where I am here. There we go. If you practice this long enough, you're really going to be able to be good at picking out slight, just subtle value changes and really be able to pick out all those things that you need to do to get a really good drawing with those lights and darks that you need to create something that looks three-dimensional on paper, on a two-dimensional surface. That's really what we're practicing this for, so that you can really get something to look three-dimensional on your paper. Okay, so there I'm getting my shifts. They're getting much more gradual as they go through here. These three are almost looking too close together on the screen I'm seeing, but when I look at them on here, I'm not seeing them looking the same too much. There is a shift in value, but I'll go back in here so that you can see it a little bit better. And keep my fingers away from putting them on that dark area. I could switch it this way. That might be better. There we go. That might work better. Okay, and then my last box, I'm not going to spend much time in at all because I want it to be really, really, really light. So light that you almost can't even tell that there are pencil lines in there. So hardly even brushing that lead against the paper. I'm only going to, I think, go twice on it. Let's see. There we go. That's it. Okay, let me see if I can get it on here. That is so light. Now on the screen, it looks like these two are alike, but really, this one does have a little bit more value in it, and you might be able to see it a little bit better from here. But there's your value chart, and that's how you can start comparing your values when you are doing shading. You can take your black and white photograph that you're going to be shading, and you can hold this up against there and see what kinds of pencils you're going to need. Thank you.